Hey guys, Jordan here, and this week I'm going to be talking about how to overcome objections when you're inside a meeting. I'm also going to be doing a 1,000 sub giveaway, so you're going to want to stick around to the end of this one. But before we do that, I'm going to take you back in time to yesterday when I was driving on my way to quite an important meeting, and I had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share with you guys about how to mentally prepare yourself when you're on your way before you meet the business owner. But first things first, like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and let's get started with this week's video. Hi guys, so I'm on my way to a meeting at the moment and I just want to talk you through my thought process when I am preparing for a meeting mentally, when I'm on my way. I'm on my way to a meeting with a cosmetic dentistry, probably the biggest in my local city, so there's a lot riding on it. I could get a good service charge from them, and well, actually this is the last client I need to tip me over that six-figure point. So I really want to nail it, and I'm not going to be upset if I don't, because there's going to be plenty of other meetings out there along the line. But I want to talk about the fact that it's okay to be nervous when you are preparing for meetings or when you're on your way to a meeting, because I've had hundreds and hundreds of meetings over my lifetime with previous jobs, not just with SMMA. So it is natural to be nervous. We're only human at the end of the day, but you need to make sure that you don't take that nervousness into the meeting, and you need to rid yourself of that before you walk in that door. So when you're driving to your meeting, or when you're on the train, when you're walking, however you're getting there, you need to rid yourself of all of those negative thoughts that you may have, all of those doubts that you might not sign them up. What are they going to think of the service charge, of the ad spend? You need to get rid of all of those thoughts and fuel yourself with a positive mind. You need to fuel yourself with positivity, and it will ooze in the meeting. A business owner will be able to say, and this is actually something I used to do when I cold call and when I still cold call. So when I am speaking to someone over the phone, I smile. Even if I'm not happy, I could be in the worst mood, but I will always smile when I'm speaking to a business owner, because it comes across in your tone of voice, and it's so important to do that. And again, when you're inside a meeting, if you're negative, if you're already bogged down, if you've had a crap day, get rid of it, because if you bring that into the meeting, they are going to be able to tell, and it's going to have a really negative effect on the way it goes. So that's what I do. I fuel myself with positivity. I walk into that meeting like I'm the man. I am going to sign this client up because they need me. I can make them thousands of pounds extra per month. So you walk into there as if you've already signed them up, and you are just oozing with positivity, and it's really going to rub off inside the meeting. I'm sorry my camera is shaking all over the place, but that's all I wanted to say. It's just a quick one. I'm about 5 minutes away now, so wish me luck, and I'll keep you updated on how I get on. And we're back in present day. So I hope that's a bit of food for thought for you. I really do honestly think it's so vitally important to take that information on board, because my years of sales training have taught me that if you are negative, or if you have had a crap day and you bring that into a meeting or onto a cold call or whatever, it is going to affect it majorly. So make sure you take that information on board. Try it when you are in your next meeting, and see how you get on. I'm sure it will have a profound effect on how you get on. Now, big question, how did I get on in the meeting? I've booked a second meeting. I haven't signed them just yet. I had a couple of objections, which I'm going to talk about in this video. But I've set a second meeting in sight, which is good. I'm meeting them again in 10 days. Now, this is a bit of an unorthodox way of doing things, but if you don't sign them up on the first time, it's always best to set a date in sight. If they need to mull over it at all, or if they need to speak to any of the other business partners, then set a date in sight for the future, so at least you can put pen to paper and you're still committing them in a certain way. Now, this meeting wasn't ideal from the get-go, because it's a husband and wife business, and the husband is on holiday at the moment, so I could only meet with the wife. And it's not an ideal situation, because when you set these meetings, you want to be in front of all of the decision makers, because you don't want to have to mess around with second or third meetings and all different opinions, and you have to pitch your ideas again. So it wasn't ideal, as I say, but they are really high-end dentistry in my town, and I really wanted this meeting. So I didn't want to miss the opportunity. I jumped at the chance, and I kind of knew that she would have to get approval from the husband anyway. So on that note, what objections did I get? Well, first of all, she was incredibly bought in on the whole idea of it. invest a lot of money into digital marketing at the moment, so they actually spend money on Facebook ads already, but they are doing it blind. They are not doing it right. The adverts don't look great, and they're just spending a lot of money and not getting any return from it. So she was really relieved to have someone come in, tell her what she can do, tell her what I can do, show her what I can do with some of my previous results, and showing her examples of other dentists who were doing a really good job. And yeah, she was blown away by it all, and she wants to get started. But there are two main hurdles that I had to get past with them, and there are two main reasons why I couldn't sign them yesterday. Number one is a really frustrating reason, and it is completely out of my control. And sometimes you'll come across objections which are completely out of your control, and there's nothing you can do about it apart from let it roll over and leave it with the business owner. So she said to me that they are completely fully booked at the moment, which is bizarre because why would you have me in the first place? But they have the capacity to grow and expand. So they have room to take on 2 to 3 new dentists. Now at the moment they only have 3 dentists already, so it's almost double the capacity available to them. Now they are already making millions from those 3 dentists. Their packages and their services are extremely expensive or extremely high end. So I mean, you can look at them. So for example, full dentist implants. So if you are like an elderly patient and you are fed up of wearing dentures or whatever, and you want a full set of dental implants, it can cost up to £30,000 for that procedure alone. So there are some extremely high ticket services that I could sell on. So they have massive room for growth, and they're currently looking for more surgeons to take on. And that's the only way that they can overcome that hurdle. So yeah, it's frustrating for me because I can't do anything about it, but it's in their best interest to expand. And after our conversation, she now knows that they are going to have the ability to take bookings, and they are going to be able to fill that space once they do take on new dentists. So I've got to leave that with them. Now, the second problem was, as I said at the start, it's a husband and wife business. She needs approval from the husband. When I first mentioned the price and my service charge, she seemed a little bit shocked that she wasn't expecting my service charge to be so much. Now, this is always a bit comical when people get shocked by the service charge, by charging of 1,000 plus a month. So I quoted her 1,500. And my actual reaction, I actually laughed. So I'm very relaxed in my meetings, first of all. I'm very human, I am very, very personal. So it's a very personal meeting, it's not very formal at all. So I laughed and I said, my service charge is like completely irrelevant to you. I don't want to make you £1,000 a month. I want to make you multiple thousands. I want to make you £5,000-10,000 a month plus. Like in a couple of months' time, I'm going to be wondering why I'm not charging you more of a service charge, and you're not even going to be looking at that figure, because what is £1,000 a month when you're making 5 to 10 plus extra thousands every single month? And it completely changed by saying that. It completely changes their perspective on it all, because they don't think about it like that. All they're thinking about is the short term. They're thinking about outlaying £1,000, £1,500 a month extra. Like, no, it's completely, like, my service charge is completely irrelevant. Like, I could be charging you £5,000 and this will still be cheap for you. You have services, some of your services, which are up to £30,000. If we only sell one of those, that's like your whole year's worth of service charge is paid for. And I said all of this to her, and she was like, okay, you're right. I don't know why I was concerned, but I need to explain this to my husband. And this is something which I'm not keen on at all. Second-hand selling doesn't work, to be blunt. So her selling it to her husband, she is not going to sell it. With all due respect, she's not going to sell my services as well as I will sell them myself. So I said, you know what, to be honest with you, I would prefer, instead of second-hand selling the idea, I know you're bought in, I know that you want to do this, but I get the idea that you're going to struggle to kind of get him bought in on the idea as well. So let me book in a second meeting with you and with your husband, and I will go through the whole pitch again, and I will sell it to him, and we'll get it all signed up and get moving forward. She's like, yeah, great. You come in and let's set this date aside. So we've scribbled it down and we're booked in, and we're good to go for the end of this month. And I think that's really important. You shouldn't let a business owner second sell. So if you're in a business meeting, and it doesn't have to just be husband and wife, it can be all sorts. Some businesses, they've got multiple partners or even a board that they need to get approval from. You want to have that meeting yourself with the board. No one will sell your services as well as you will. Now, the only other cost element that she did quibble about a little bit was my advice to spend a minimum of £1,000 a month on advert spend. Now, we had a similar conversation about that, and she came around to the way of thinking, and I just basically explained that the more you put into the pot in this kind of thing, the more you're going to get out of it. I said, look, you need to spend a minimum of £500, but I want you to spend £1,000. And I explained to her the fact, and this is true as well, I was actually speaking to another potential client at a meeting on Tuesday this week with an extremely large e-commerce business based in Sweden. They're going to be operating across the US and the UK, basically selling healthcare products. So they are keto diet, healthcare supplements and vitamins, and also they're going to be selling like healthcare machinery as well. It's a group of doctors from Sweden. Now they want some huge sale figures. They want to sell a minimum of 10,000 units per month. They want 10,000 to 40,000. And I said, look, you're going to have to spend an absolute minimum £85,000 a month advert spend, which they are absolutely fine with, because they understand that they're going to put that money into the pot and they're going to take 500 to $1 million back out of it, which is a huge return on investment. And then off the back of that, I'm actually going to be charging them a $7,000 service charge, which I think is extremely cheap in comparison to the return on investment that they're going to get. And I actually explained this to the lady, to the wife, and to the owner of this business. And I explained the fact of how much money they're spending on advertisement, and it put things into perspective for her, and it made her realise that £1,000 a month is absolutely nothing, because our services are like so high ticket. We're going to be selling these services, and even if we're spending £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, £5,000 a month on advertisement spend, the more I'm spending, the more I'm getting out of it. And I really drummed that into her, and she completely understood it in the end. And that's kind of all the objections I had and how I handled them in the meeting itself. So I think that's really important to note to any of you who have had objections on price in meetings, which is the number one biggest objection that people get. You have to drum it in, you have to convey that value and make them realise that your service charge is completely irrelevant. Like, you are going to be making them so much more than that service charge, and you need to fill them with confidence so they realise that they're being ridiculous, that they're then questioning your £1,000 a month, like they should be snapping your hands out, you're snapping it out of your hands, because it's actually cheap in comparison to what you're going to be giving to them back. So that's how I overcome that objection. If you do have any other objections, if you have faced other objections in meetings and I haven't covered it, please do drop that down in the comments and I'll do my absolute best to answer those for you. Now, as I said at the start of this video, this week I hit a really big milestone. I have hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm absolutely psyched about. I'm actually on 1,500 now, so like I'm getting like mad growth this week. I don't really know where it's come from, but I've gained like 600-700 subscribers in this week alone, so an awful lot. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Now, you'll be glad to hear it's a coaching giveaway, and I'm going to give 3 people the opportunity to win this. Now, all you have to do is it's a 30-minute call package with myself and access to my exclusive Facebook group where we all share ideas and collaborate and grow together. All you have to do for this competition is comment down below. Let me know where you're at the moment and with your agency, and even if you haven't started yet, you're still welcome to like join the competition. It's going to get picked at random, so if you haven't started yet, absolutely fine. Don't be scared to comment. I want to hear how you guys are getting on, what your thought process is at the moment, and kind of what your next steps are as well. And I'll pick 3 names at random, completely randomly generated online, and I'll do that next week. I'll announce that, and we'll book in them calls, and hopefully I can bring a lot of value to you. Now, on that note, coaching calls have been like through the roof at the moment, and I'm like, the personal brand is growing really quickly, which is really nice, but I've got a long way to go. I'm still very much in my infancy. So what I've done, is I was getting frustrated with kind of linking in my personal Instagram to my business one. I was just using one account and I was getting so many messages every day on my personal account that I've actually made a business account now as well. I've linked it to my YouTube channel now, and I've also put it down in the description. It is Jordan Platten UK, and that's my business profile. So I ask if you do have my personal channel, absolutely fine, but if you've got any business inquiries, drop it over onto the business account from now on. And those of you that don't follow me, please do drop me a follow. I've got like 50 followers or something ridiculous, so I need to grow it up. So you'll be doing me a favour and say hi, and I'll always respond back to absolutely everybody, no matter how silly the question may be. Now, that's it for this week. As I say, if I have missed anything, if there are any objections that you have had before, just drop them down and I'll answer those for you. I'm also looking for some video inspiration at the moment as well. If there's any questions that you don't think are covered out there on YouTube at the moment regarding SMMA, then just drop them down and I'll make sure I cover those for you ASAP. That's it, guys. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and I'll be back again next week.